Yeah, what's up, man? What? You gotta be kidding. Yeah, I'll take a look. Time to kill some zombies. What's happening, folks? Welcome back to the Repster, where movies and entertainment are our reputation. So, Day of the Dead was released in 1985, was directed by George A. Romero, and stars Laurie Cardille, Terry Alexander, and Jarlath Conroy. And it follows a group of military officers and scientists who camps out in an underground bunker as zombies overrun the world above. This makes the third in the Romero-directed zombie genre series. And I gotta say, it wasn't all that bad. Now keep in mind, I hadn't really watched Night of the Living Dead fully, just in context in other movies like Halloween 2. They played that plenty of times in that one.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it! You're ignorant.
And Dawn of the Dead I've seen once, but it's been a while. But Day of the Dead really stood out to me, and I gotta say, I like the whole atmosphere. I like the premise of it, which leads me to the positives. The story. I like the whole idea that these people are camped out under this bunker, that, you know, the only thing that separated them from the monsters while they try to figure crap out. It had a very dark, atmospheric tone. It felt very genuine, and maybe that's why I pretty much grew to this one more than the other two. Like I said, these people are just trying to figure all this stuff out, and, you know, and it just falls along with the setting. It had a very claustrophobic atmosphere. Just knowing a few walls and doors were the only things that separate you from the monsters. And I think is what George did best with his films. Because he is the father of the genre. He was the father of the genre. May he rest in peace. Speaking of the direction, it was really good. Again, I have not really seen Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead in a while. But I felt like Day of the Dead was his most prized, angry, and very well done film. Like I said, it's the one that stood out to me the most. And George A. Romero was on top of his game with this film at the time. With the shot by shots, the premise, and it may have very well been the most personal to him. Very tense, very dark, which we need to slip into the characters because I think this is part of the reason why. Now you got Laurie Cardille, who plays Sarah, one of the main scientists, and she gave a really good performance. She was one of those that's like the only one that had any common sense about her. She was the only one out of that group that wasn't really acting like an animal, which I'll get into here in a bit.
Maybe if we tried working together, we could ease some of the tensions. We're all pulling in different directions.
Then you got Johnny McDermott, played by Terry Alexander, and Jarlath Conroy. Yeah, they don't really show that much usefulness at first, but then by the third act, they really let you know that they can handle their own. And they really get useful fast. You really got to care for these characters. And the military personnel, wow. They were savages pretty much. You know, almost to the brink of madness. Particularly Rhodes, played by Joseph Pilato. You do not want to mess with this guy. Something was seriously wrong with this guy. He was the main commander, and he was, to sum it up nicely, he was one mean SOB. Like I said, I wouldn't mess with this guy. You know, just looking by his eyes, you can see the craziness in his eyes.
I said we ain't finished here, lady. Sit down. Sit down, or so help me God, I'll have you shot.
You what?
I said, I'll have you shot.
Have you lost your mind?
In all honesty, if I can be truly blunt here, If a zombie apocalypse did actually happen, I truly believe that people would be this savage. Just look at the world around you today. Just look at current events, and it's not even a zombie apocalypse. I rest my case. The zombie effects was amazing. Once again, Tom Savini had his work cut out for him. He designed all of the zombie effects, along with his team, of course. There's one particular zombie that shows up right in the first act, right when the Day of the Dead title appears. That was one that they kind of messed up on. It wasn't intentional at all, but I think it worked anyway. They decided to use it anyway, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I gotta talk about the mascot of this film, Bub, the one zombie that kind of acted a little human. Because this doctor named Dr. Frankenstein was working with him. And basically the whole premise, the side plot of this was this scientist was trying to figure out, basically all the scientists, aside from the military personnel, was trying to figure out what happened. What caused the zombie apocalypse, and how do we control the zombies? How do we get them to be, less... And that's basically what this one particular scientist was doing with this one zombie named Bub. And he was making really good progress. Mind you, in a wrong way that you get to find out later on in the third act, but still. Bub was pretty cool. I liked him. I think he was the main mascot of this film. He wasn't in it much, but I liked him. I like the whole thing where the doctor would just give this zombie Bub these instruments to play with. Like a razor here, a pen there, and a book, and even a gun. It gave him more of a humanity about him. It's just something about it that just made him seem more human. He was the only zombie in this whole entire flick that would act more human. Yeah, he was still like a slow, dumb mongoloid, but still, he was the only one that wouldn't grab at you, that wouldn't bite at you or anything. But those scenes were pretty funny, and I like that whole concept, especially that they threw in with the zombie. And it gives you, I think, a little bit of a taste of what this person used to be. And he even salutes one of the characters in it, which was hilarious. And then there's another scene where he was listening to music, and the doctor was like this. Do this with your hand and play the tape. And then he was like mesmerized by what he was listening to. Kind of like a born baby listening to something for the first time. Like using his motor skills. That's what this reminded me of. The gore effects was nuts. Again, what's a zombie movie with a couple of shredded bodies? The jump scares was okay. There was a few that kind of was a hit and miss, but there's one particular one that happened right at the beginning that really freaked me out. Now let's slide into the negative. I only have one, the score. This has been talked about many times when mentioning this movie of critics, especially whenever it first came out. But right now it's created a cult following. A lot more people are more into the film than when it was back then when it came out. It wasn't that huge. They didn't release it properly like they did with so many horror movies. I swear, Hollywood, as much horror movies that came out back then, Hollywood definitely had a grudge against them, whether it's the MPAA or the way they handled them. But anyway, getting off topic here. The way that they did the score is what really my cup of tea. It kind of sounded a little Hawaiian mixed in with a Caribbean type feel and a little bubbly on the sides. It just wouldn't have been my choice, but it is what it is. So if you're a Romero fan and expect nothing more than a typical yet fun and gory zombie ride, then this sweet delight is for you. So, Day of the Dead, what did you think of it? Was it one of your favorite Romero movies, or do you just prefer the others over this one? Leave me your comment down below and give me your thoughts. Stay tuned for more videos and reviews coming soon. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. As always, like, subscribe, and comment if you hadn't already, and I'll see you on the next go. Peace, the Rep out.